Thanks, Hilda. We're overcoming. So we're looking at the very last topic today, and this is a very interesting topic. It's contemporary issues and the emerging trends. Contemporary issues and the emerging trends in finance. Great. So if you look at your course outline, what do these guys want us to discuss? They want us to discuss great things. Number one, they want me to teach you guys about cryptocurrency. They want me to teach you guys about blockchain technology. We have cloud funding. Cloud funding is supposed to be crowdfunding, not cloud. Crowdfunding. We have digitization of financial transactions. We have big data project finance. We have Islamic finance, behavioral finance, derivative markets in developing countries. So before I start going through this, I would want to look at, us to look at a few questions that Kasneb has brought in this area for us to appreciate, what kind of topic are we talking about here? We shall overcome, Matthew. We shall overcome. So for example, I'll just go through these questions pretty fast, because, I haven't taught you. I just want you to get a high level overview of what has been tested in the past regarding this subject. Some of them are common knowledge. For example, August 2023. August 2023, please record this down. August 2023, question number 3A. Question number 3A. So number one, for 6 marks, they asked us to discuss, I'm recording. They asked us to discuss 3 challenges that organizations face while adopting blockchain technology in their operations. 3 challenges that organizations face while adopting blockchain technology in their operations. That's a very good question coming from these emerging issues, current trends in finance. April 2023, question number 5A. April 2023, question number 5A. Globalization has resulted in several organizations engaging in corporate alliances and the establishment of trading blocks. The advent of e-commerce has enabled companies to greatly expand their market. Required, elaborate on 4 factors that complicate financial management in multinational firms. Elaborate 4 factors that complicate financial management in multinational firms. Who is able to give me 2 answers there very fast? I give them a reward. Any person who can give me 2 great answers there, even without being taught by anybody. What do you think are the common complications that will be encountered, complications in financial management of foreign exchange? I love that, because when you are a multinational, you'll be handling multiple currencies. I love that. Cultural differences, regulatory compliance. I love that. Different accounting practices in different countries. It's not all countries in this case that follow the IFRSs. No, we have political risks. Like now, look at what is happening in Congo. Look at what is happening in Congo. All right, thank you very much. Another one. August 2022, question number 1C. Describe 4 factors, August 2022. Yeah, different inflations in different countries. So August 2022, describe 4 factors. That could significantly impact on the price of cryptocurrencies. Is there, first of all, is there anybody who knows what a cryptocurrency is? I want to see how exposed you guys are. Some of you normally tell me that they are international investors. I hope the international investment, digital currency, digital money, I love that. Thank you very much. So then, Bitcoin, yes. Bitcoin, yes. Bitcoin, yes. So then when it comes to valuation of these cryptocurrencies, describe 4 factors that could significantly impact on the price of the Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin pricing, valuation really fluctuates, all right? There's a time one coin was going for 6 million, another time for 1 million, all right? So in this case here, what are those factors which will affect? They flew away. They flew away. We shall overcome. And I've seen somebody who has given me already a point there. The concept of what here? The concept of supply. When supply is very, very high, we expect the price to do what? To go down. Another independent point you can put there, demand. If, for example, the demand of the Ethereum, which is one of the cryptocurrencies that we have, is very high, then we expect in this case here the Ethereum value to go up. You guys have good points. You guys have good points there. You guys have good points there. I can see Lenny is laughing because Lenny does not have any answer today. Does not have any answer today. Yes, media, publicity. If you get negative publicity, your price down. If you get very good publicity, your price up. Market acceptance, this Ken guy must be a very, very good man. This must be a very, very good man. Great. Government policies, I'll give you a mark. Yes, government policies, because you see, the government will come and start taxing these things. Once they introduce tax, of course, these guys must load the tax to us. I'm not hearing anybody talking about the cost of producing these cryptocurrencies. Have you ever heard of what we call mining? You know, they are mined. And mining is not very, very easy. When I get, like the other day, I was in town here and I got a classmate of mine, I really sympathized. A classmate of mine, that's a person who is 45 years plus. And then he's telling me that he's in mining of cryptocurrencies business. Do you know what it takes to mine a cryptocurrency, even one coin? We don't have that capacity here. Don't be cheated. You'll be chasing, in this case here, a wild goose, which you will never, ever catch. You'll be promised heavens. And then, of course, what will be happening is that it is your time that will be eaten by those people. You will never get anywhere with those things. It's very costly to mine one coin like this. So do we have anybody in this class who is a miner of cryptocurrency? Is there anybody who is mining cryptocurrency here? What I'm 100% sure about is that we have got investors, international investors, in terms of what here? In terms of betting. Betting, there must be a ninja here who bets. And then they tell me that they are international investors. That one I'm 100% sure. But mining, I doubt. Even Calvin, who is saying that he does mining, I really doubt. Thank you very much. You guys seem to be having great ideas there. Thank you very much. Availability of competing cryptocurrencies, yes. Availability of competing, availability of alternatives will always affect what here? Will always affect price. Will always affect price. Thank you very much. We look at April 2022, question number 4C. April, I hope you're noting those questions down. Investor sentiments and confidence. Yeah, when investors are very confident about a certain cryptocurrency, then automatically it will go up. Legitimacy, of course, that calls for legitimacy. Then we go, ladies and gentlemen, to this April 2022, question number 4C. I hope you're noting those questions down. Highlight 4 advantages of big data analytics in the financial sector or project finance. Why do you think banks should use big data analytics? So first of all, you will need to understand what big data is. The last question, the one that we have just done, is August 2022, question number 1C. So first of all, tell me, Yvonne, what is big data? Do you know about the 5 V's, the 5 V's of big data? First of all, give me the definition of big data and the 5 V's of big data. Those two things, definition of big data and the 5 V's of big data. Then we'll be able to see how the same is used by banks. I can see guys are really giving me the big, or rather big data 5 V's. Yes, guys are bright here. Veracity, like veracity. You know, veracity, if you hear, for example, a lady being called Felicity. Yeah, veracity is about faithfulness, trustworthiness of big data. If big data cannot be trusted, automatically that can't be big data. Big data has to be truthful. Yes. Thank you, Nancy. Big data in this case here must be coming from various sources. If you look at, for example, if you go to EABL's Facebook page, these guys, of course, must be having a system that is able to capture all the comments that it receives from their social media handles every day. All right. So they're getting this data from Twitter. They're getting this data from Facebook. They're getting this data from Instagram. They're getting this data from various sources, variety. And in variety, this data must be coming, for example, in form of texts, must be coming in form of numbers, voluminous. Yes, it can only be big data, ladies and gentlemen, if the data that you're getting is of a high volume. Yes. And of course, we can only call it big data if it's valuable. We can use, in this case here, the data to make decisions. Big data is a big thing under what we call data analytics, Great. So then now we can go ahead and answer the question. Value useful, yes. We can now go ahead and answer the question given here. Factors that could significantly impact, not that one. Advantages of big data analytics in the financial sector. How will banks, for example, make use of this big data? Yeah, somebody is asking for the definition of big data. Look at these students. These guys, I mean, who taught you these things? Risk management. All right. I love this. Aids in decision making. Risk management and assessment. Yes. Fraud detection. I love that. Predictive analytics. You are able to use big data to predict the future. For example, a bank like Equity Bank, they'll look at, for example, the current withdrawals, like how people are withdrawing, like towards the weekend, right? ATM withdrawals. You know, ATM withdrawals from all East Africa regions, which happens to be having Equity Bank branches. I mean, when they look at that data, that must be big data coming in, volumes coming in from various countries, various places here, variety. All right. So in this case here, then Equity Bank can use those kind of patterns generated to predict the future. They can use, in this case here, those kind of patterns here to make decisions. Like how much then do we plan to be having in our ATM machines every weekend? Every weekend. Yes, in form of, for example, loans. They can look at the loans, for example, the patterns, and they'll be able to basically get the probability of default, the probability of default on loans, non-performing loans probability. I love that. All right. All right. Sylvia, wengine wetu, we are just floating, but we shall overcome. No, Sylvia, you understand the concept. I've not even started looking at this. You know, at times as a teacher, you start by looking at the questions and then you go back. Just participate. You'll be surprised, Sylvia, all these guys who are answering here, they're not geniuses. It's only that they know how to look for information. This information is on the website. It's all over, isn't it? They're proactive. They're not geniuses. Don't be cheated by anybody. All right? They're just doing research. Am I speaking some truth? Am I speaking some truth there? Am I speaking some truth there? People are just moving out of their way to do research. So that as I go through this, you'll be able to understand better. Yeah, ChatGPT, Google, truthful man, you see. So you should never be intimidated, really. So, okay. So I would want to look at some more questions, just a high level. Like now, this one that came in December 2021. December 2021, question number 4B. December 2021, question number 4B. Explain 3 differences between traditional finance and behavioral finance. Explain 3 differences between traditional finance and behavioral finance. Is there anybody who can first of all give me the difference between traditional finance and behavioral finance? Remember, in traditional finance, we look at numbers. Before I make investment, I'll have to look at what we call return on investment. Behavioral finance, basically here we are looking at the sentimental approach. Just for example, like where I live, like there is nowhere this mwalimu can live. I know these things make losses, but even if I'm in Nairobi, in like a small house, I must have like 2 or 3 cows. Nikiingia kwa nyumba ikipiga tu kelele, nasikia kama niko sawa, hata kama ni hasara from veterinary and many other factors. Hiyo ni behavioral because I'm simply attached to them. There is no any computational justification to keeping those animals around here. You will get in this case here, for example, like how people are being shepherded. Unaambiwa tuende tununue mashamba wapi. You don't have like numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, like impulse purchasing, yes. Impulse purchasing, yes. Like you just go to a shop like this without even looking at the monetary value of this thing. You simply buy. I haven't gotten a very good difference. Traditional is like Islamic finance. I mean, even the other one is, traditional. Basically, you're looking at what year you're supporting. Every decision you make with numbers. This other one, you're following your heart in terms of making decisions. I just love this. I'm buying this. So I'll be able to go through that very well. Traditional is more rational. I love that. It's more rational. So you are able to think. You're able to use your mind here. You're able to look at computations here. How much will I get if I'm going to invest in buildings? Like, for example, where I would want to become a landlord, vis-a-vis investing in government. How much will I get? I go for government. That's traditional finance. But you see, there is also another person who will come and look at, the theoretical, the qualitative aspects. The qualitative aspects, that I would rather an asset that I'm able to see than an asset in this case that I'm putting there with government, a government that may collapse anytime. The moment you start looking at things qualitatively, then automatically you're going out through what we call the behavioral finance, qualitatively. So traditional is more what here? quantitative. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk of emerging trends, like right now, tonight, by closure of today, the dollar was going for 145 Kenya shillings, 145 Kenya shillings to the dollar. Could you kindly give me 3 reasons which has made the Kenya shilling to appreciate? 3 reasons that have made the Kenya shilling to appreciate. Panic selling, the effect of Eurobond, it's artificial, public inflows of dollars because of the Eurobond, manipulation by Central Bank of Kenya. You guys must be haters of this government. I mean, there is nobody who is talking about good governance in the country. Good governance in the country. Reduction of money in circulation because of overtaxation. No. That will not make it to be. The thing is, we borrowed 1.5 million US dollars, all of it at once. And this was given to us in form of what year? Dollars. Once this money, of course, came on the table, that, of course, led to oversupply of what year? Of dollars. When supply increases, automatically, what do you expect here? The price will go down. And then, of course, we had the central bank, as somebody is saying here, although I should not be talking about this loudly, the central bank was also interfering. So the question is, do you think that rate is sustainable? If we have dollars here, should we sell? Should we sell them? Should we follow, in this case here, the truthful man's advice, Kashagwa, and sell all of them? It will stabilize back to 150. To 150, like that. No. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then that takes me now to my today's topic, and I have a handout which I would want to share with you. I'll share with you after the class. So it is a last topic. And you expect many questions from this. This can make you see places that you have never seen before. But don't ask me like which ones. This will make you see places. Let me just convert this. I want to convert this to PDF. All right. All right. Just a minute, we shall overcome. Okay, great. So I'm going to move with a high speed because really this is a very enjoyable topic. All of us will be very happy. All right, so looking at contemporary issues in finance. Contemporary means what here, current things. Now, so cryptocurrency, as you guys told me, cryptocurrencies are digital or virtual currencies that use what we call cryptography for security. Cryptography for security. I'll be able to explain what this means. But the thing is, cryptocurrencies, you can't touch them. They are not tangible, all right? Examples include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple is also doing very well. And they are basically characterized by high volatility. You can be told in this case here today, they are worth $1 million. Tomorrow they are worth 0. Tomorrow they disappear. Potential for high returns. Yes, there are people that have been converted to millionaires because of this crypto. And regulatory challenges because you can't regulate them. Cryptocurrency is a type of digital or virtual currency that uses cryptography for security. It operates on a decentralized network, typically based on the blockchain technology. So I would want to explain these words one at a time. Decentralization, the opposite of centralization. Cryptocurrencies operate on decentralized networks of computers, often using blockchain technology. This decentralization eliminates the need for a central authority, like no government are able to come in, such as government or financial institutions, making transactions peer-to-peer. All right? So decentralization, in this case, you shall not be having like the entire country being run from Nairobi. No, in Ugatuzi. All right? So it's peer-to-peer. My machine connected to your machine. We are able to do what here? We are able to run this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Blockchain technology. Blockchain is a distributed ledger that records all transactions across a network of computers. Each block in the chain contains a list of transactions, and once a block is completed, it is linked to the previous one, forming a chain of blocks. Blockchain ensures transparency, security, and immutability. Nobody can change transactions in any block. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen and listen to me. You must have heard of blockchain. Blockchains, for example, in Sweden, they were able to convert all their land transactions into blockchains. So then what happens with these blockchains? We'll have, for example, people living in one area, like Syokimau. That's one block. So this block, of course, has got the list of all the land ownerships. All right. And of course, I'll be having like a portal, like what you guys have in Kasneb. You have a portal. So in this portal, when I open Joshua, I'm able to see what I own. If I want to procure, everything is on the portal. When I make any changes, every person who is connected to this block in Syokimau is able to see that Joshua Aura has made a transaction. That is what we are calling the concept of transparency. If this was to be introduced in Kenya here, like they're trying to do with the Ardhi Sasa, Ardhi Sasa is supposed to be purely a blockchain technology, but of course, these guys are thieves. They will not want to implement it fully. They're just implementing it partially. Because if you look at Ardhi Sasa, if you have ever bought land through Ardhi Sasa, when you buy land, straight away the seller on the other side must get a notification on his phone that, hey, are you selling your land? You say yes. Not once, not twice. It's quite a tedious process. The only thing that they haven't done very well, number one, is making like all these parcels of land, the titles. It has to be in an open platform. I should be able to go to Ardhi Sasa and I get to see who owns what in Kenya. So if, for example, if you give me, for example, your title deed, I should not go to a central authority. If it's a blockchain, it is decentralized. It's peer-to-peer. I should be able to see everything here. The central area should only be for purpose of showcasing who owns what. But in terms of transactions, I should never go to the government to do anything. No, the government should sit wherever they are and they get their stamp duty. They get their stamp duty. So blockchains, very, very important. We must understand them. Now, if you look at something like M-Pesa, M-Pesa is also based on the blockchain technology. Yeah, it's peer-to-peer. For example, today, if I would want to send, is there anybody who wants me to send them some money? We test how this blockchain works. Yeah, so it's Ken who said yes first. It's Ken who said yes first. It's Ken who said yes first. So Ken, give me your number so that we can test this blockchain. So we can test this blockchain. It's Ken who gave me, yeah, we want to test this blockchain. 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 Very important, decentralized. It's peer-to-peer. All right. We have what we call electronic what here? Electronic what? Wallets. Electronic wallets. Electronic wallets. These guys are writing things here, and I'm losing Ken's number now. I'm losing Ken's number. Here it is now. So these are electronic wallets. We don't have to carry now cash with us anymore. We walk with these phones around. These are our wallets. They are our blockchains. They are connected because there must be connection peer-to-peer like that. All right, so Ken in this case here must have received his money right away. Remember, blockchains also, ladies and gentlemen, they are instantaneous. Once you transact and you are able to, of course, from my end now, because I'm the one who's sending, go through all those steps like this money goes straight away. They're instantaneous. I don't have to seek authority from anybody to send my money. All right, that's the concept of what a decentralization. It's peer machines being connected. All right, the network is very big. The network is very big. And remember, when we talk of cryptography, assuming, for example, today I was to send some young lady here, assuming mwalimu, this is a bad example, it will allow me to use it. Assuming mwalimu was looking for a second wife, and then I'm typing a message to a lady here. Is it possible if, for example, assuming I'm sending this to a lady here called who? Mary, my mother. So I'm writing there good things like that. Is it possible for anybody like Stanley to intercept and read Mwalimu's message? This message that Mwalimu has sent to Mary. Is it possible for Stanley to intercept that message in between ikiwa kwa hewa, asome Mwalimu amesema namna gani? Is it possible? No, it's not possible. Hawezi because of what here? Because of what here? The encryption. So cryptography ni wana change language. Yani ukiandika kama umesema for example love whatever, ikienda kwa hewa iandikwi love, ina change. Itakuwa decrypted ikienda kwa phone ya Mary, their side. Lenny is saying that this Stanley guy is coming from some place where he can use a few funny things. Not unless you come across Mary's phone. If you come across Mary's phone, then automatically you'll be able to read. But in between here, you can't comprehend whatever message is being sent around. That's what we call cryptography. The concept of encrypting. That data is encrypted. When it is moving from in between here, the language changes. End-to-end encrypted, yes. End-to-end encrypted. This is a very good student. End-to-end encrypted, yes. All right. So blockchain is a distributed ledger, just like these ledgers, the T accounts, they're distributed all over. What makes now M-Pesa not to be a truly blockchain technology? Like now after I've sent Ken does not even know how much I have in my balance. For transparency to be there, Ken ought to have known, like Aura has got this. You can also be able to go and see how much Ruto has in his account, etc. Everybody in the blockchain. Like now, everybody in this classroom would have seen our transaction between Mwalimu here and Ken. Because so long as you are, in touch here with us, Your computer is connected with ours here. Everybody in the block should be able to appreciate what has happened. Hakutakuwa na wizi. Hakutakuwa na wizi. So a brief history here, Bitcoin, it was created in 09 by an anonymous person or a group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Anonymous, I will not want to trade in this. Bitcoin is the first and most well-known cryptocurrency, often referred to as the digital gold. It operates on a proof-of-work consensus algorithm where miners solve complex mathematical problems to validate transactions and add them to the blockchain. Now, this guy of mine was telling me that he's a miner, that he's mining cryptocurrency. Does he know this kind of complex mathematical models really? No. Ethereum, it was introduced in 2015 by Vitalik Buterin. Ethereum is a blockchain platform that enables the creation of smart contracts and decentralized applications, dApps. All right. It uses a proof of stake consensus algorithm, transitioning from proof of work, where validators are chosen to create new blocks based on the amount of cryptocurrency they hold and are willing to stake as collateral. I don't want to read so many of them. Altcoins refers to any cryptocurrency other than the Bitcoin, like alternative coins. Examples include the Ripple. We have the Litecoin. We have the famous here Cardano. Altcoins often serve specific purposes or offer variations in terms of security, transaction speed, or consensus mechanisms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me pause for a minute. Do you think these things at one point in the future, they will become real? Because for now, they seem so unreal. Because like I remember there is a time like hotels, even in Nairobi, they started accepting Bitcoins. Instead of giving them money for the food you have eaten, we're giving them Bitcoins. But all of a sudden, those guys who had advertised that they were accepting Bitcoin, now you can't get even one. You can't get. You can't get. You can't get. What is your response on this? I mean, do you think these things really will come and, they become real? They will become real. Trust you me. They'll take time, but they will become real. That's why they are being put in your syllabuses. Go to ACCA. They're being put in the syllabus there. Go to IFRS now. They're producing a standard on these cryptocurrencies. Yes, it may not be in our generation. It may not be in our generation, but of course, in some generation, these things will become real. They'll become real. They'll become real. 666, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. Then we have the cryptocurrency exchanges, and this is where many people are conned. Cryptocurrency exchanges, platforms where users can buy, sell, and trade currencies. So anybody just comes up with an exchange platform, and he tells you that he has this, put in your Kenya shillings, he gives you some fake things there, and then after some time you're told that the website disappeared. Examples, good examples here include the Coinbase, but of course, getting to know which one is legit is not very easy. The Binance and the Kraken here. Exchanges play a crucial role in the liquidity and price discovery of cryptocurrencies. Kuna mwanafunzi hapa ameshanyoroshwa na platform yoyote, na ni platform gani ilikunyorosha? Usiogope, hiyo maisha ni kujaribu. Maisha ni kujaribu. Kama mimi ile kitu ambayo nilijaribu ikanishinda ni Quails. Niliweka Quails hata mimi. Hiyo mayai tulikula. Kila mtu lazima unajaribu. There is no failure really. There's a lot of learning which happens whenever you miss. Which site in this case here, kuna besta wangu forex. No. Nasema za cryptocurrency. Ni gani likujorosha? Kuna marathon kweli. Mimi nilipeana macho tao. Ile ya kupeana macho walikuwa nakupima kidogo namna hii. And did they pay that money? Was it 2,000 or 7,000, Richard? Was it 2,000 or 7,000? I think it was 7,000. Richard, we shall overcome. Bitcoin, 7K. It was 7K. Paxful, oh, okay. Kraken, they may work. This is very good. This is very good. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Now, regulatory challenges of this crypto. Cryptocurrencies face varying degrees of regulatory scrutiny globally. Governments are grappling with how to classify and regulate these assets, considering issues such as consumer protection, money laundering, and tax evasion. Volatility and speculation, of course, we know that they are very volatile in terms of prices. Cryptocurrency prices are highly volatile, influenced by factors like market demand, technological developments, and regulatory news. Speculation and trading activities are common in the cryptocurrency markets. We are repeating this again: blockchain technology, decentralized and distributed ledger technology, ensures transparency, high security because of the cryptography, and the immutability of data. You can't change. Applications beyond cryptocurrency, such as supply chain, healthcare, and the voting year and the voting systems. Like I've told you, Sweden and many other developed countries, they're using blockchain technology on their land transactions. If you go to Dubai today, their pharmacies, most of their hospitals are connected. Unajua kama huku Afrika ni mbaya sana, because unaenda kwa daktari fulani, daktari anakuambia piga x-ray, unampatia x-ray anatumia. Ukienda just to another area, for example, umeenda kama ni Kikuyu Mission Hospital, same disease, maybe umechoka na ule daktari, huyo anakuambia pia piga x-ray yangu. That's very wrong. If you have a blockchain, which in this case here is a shareable, then automatically this doctor should be able to access this block, should be able to access this portal and get information from there. So if it's, for example, Dubai, for example, they are making use of big data in a big way. Actually, the moment you get to move around a little bit, for example, you go to Dubai for, say, 3 weeks, apart from their food, which is very bad, not bad, but I mean, you know, you're used to our food here. And of course, their weather. All right. But when you go there and stay, for example, for like 3 months, when you come back to Kenya, you feel like crying. I mean, over there, things are working. You will never see a policeman on the road. They're basically using big data to even divert vehicles. At some time, in this case, you will see like roads are moving very well. When they see some congestion here, of course, they're able to predict in advance. And then they'll be able to tell you guys, move this, use this road, etc. All right. Lights, traffic lights, and you're able to read things over there. All right. The same case in this case here with their pharmacies, for example. They have very good robots. Those robots, once in this case, you've been told here, go to the pharmacy. Once you reach there, you just give that thing the card like this, it reads and moves on. Brings, in this case here, what your drug, and it will never miss. Very well with prescriptions, right? Big data is a big thing. But in Africa, of course, as we are told, we are third world. We are third world. We are not using our skills very well. We are not even investing in research and development. We are not in R&D. We are not yet there. But we shall overcome. Don't worry. We shall overcome. It ensures transparency, security, and the immutability of data. Applications beyond this, such as supply chain, healthcare, and the voting systems. How I wish like IBC would deploy blockchain technology. If you were to deploy blockchain technology, there is no way anybody will come to claim that anything of mine was stolen. If you look, for example, the IBC database that we have, I mean, even when KPMG was doing audit, there are so many people who died long time ago who are still in the database. If it's blockchain, you know, blockchains are connected to the death registry, birth registry. You have reached 18 now, you've taken an ID card. You move. Like how we have these thing that is connected to our kids in primary school. You move with that number like that. All right. You know, like IBC is really big data. You can imagine like how much in terms of information they are getting from every voting area, from that primary school to the zone to whatever. I mean, it's huge data that flows over there. So there is nothing that is automated there, really, nothing. If they wanted to make it to be fully automated, they should be able to adopt the blockchain technology. Because if you don't adopt the blockchain technology, what does it mean? It means that every time we have, for example, Raila Odinga going to Supreme Court, we have in this case here, for example, judges saying, go and open the server, and then we start. I mean, when those guys in this case here start going to opening the server, most of these guys are not very good in database management. There are very few people in Africa who are very good in database management, who will be able to handle that data and be able to come up with meaningful information out of that database in a very short year, in a very short duration. Very few people. Because I mean, how many people, for example, can, database management in terms of big data, we have, for example, what we call MySQL. Using MySQL, server query language here, I'll be able to get into the database, IBC database, and query it. Ask it, for example, how many times did Jose Camargo enter here and what were the actual transactions that Jose Camargo did? All right. But now you get like these guys taking any person there was done computer science and they think that they are good. When they take this data to IBC, hot air, nothing. The thing is, if we had a blockchain technology, there is nobody who would be having issues. Like in America, people vote from their homes. You're given a token. You simply use the token and vote. It's blockchain. Everybody is able to see how those numbers are adding up. At the end of the day, you will be able to move on and say, hey, I was defeated. You get this other opponent of yours, you shake hands, and you leave them to lead like that. So blockchain is a big thing. It is the way to go. It is the way to go. It is the way to go. I can see a lot of not possible in Kenya. Cartels won't allow implementation. Yes, that is the most unfortunate thing. Oh, nilipita AFM. First attempt. Very good, Abdul Naji. Thank you so much. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, from there, blockchain technology, very important. Then we go to crowdfunding. Problem, na hapa ndio mimi na wanafunzi wangu mimi wanashangaa sana wanafunzi wangu. Wewe ushasikia anything to do with crowdfunding? Wanafunzi wangu pia, as much as we are blaming our governments, etc., wanafunzi wangu, most of you guys are not very aggressive. I wish tungekuwa mahali physical class na nyenye mngenialao ni wachune masikio kidogo kidogo. Kuna vitu mingi hamjui, and yet you guys are doing finance. And I know where the problem is, because the problem with most of us, ladies and gentlemen, we tend to be consumers of what those content creators produce. So we lack time to do research. Hapa kuna mwanafunzi umuulize Lini Ngugi ametoa show gani? Hata kuambia show zote Lini Ngugi ametoa. Iko kipindi Kiswahili nakuja hapa Citizen ndio namna gani? Yeye anajua hizo ni zote. Lakini anything about his field or her field, which is finance, hakuna. Crowdfunding, Red Cross, okay. Crowdfunding, Nico Green, we shall overcome. Mchanga, thank you very much, Wilfrida. Mchanga, and a crowd, Villagina nasema crowd, we are making use of what here, many people, to raise, in this case here, small monies through the internet. It's Internet of Things, it's IoT. All right. So in this case, you will have a course. For example, there is this person who has, in this case here, for example, unfortunately, cancer, and they need 5 million. If you go to your governor asking for 5 million, he'll tell you no. All right. No. But if this 5 million is put, for example, through Mchanga, and the people are contributing, like say 10 shillings like that, I mean, you'll be surprised. So long as you have written your course very well, you've written, in this case, your proposal very well, you'll be able to get that 5, even a surplus. Trust you me, even a surplus. All right. All right. Yeri Komboni amechangisha jenga bridge Kisii, aibu sana kwetu. the Lord of CF. I don't understand what CF is. CF. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Like Arambe, let me give you this, and I would want my students to really utilize these models. Crowdfunding, fundraising by obtaining small amounts of money from a large number of people. Platforms like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, reward-based. GoFundMe, donation-based. Seed Invest. Like we have the famous CrowdCube. You see, for CrowdCube, ladies and gentlemen, CrowdCube is equity-based. The people who give you money through CrowdCube, they would want you to give them shares. All right? Under Indiegogo, if I raise money using Indiegogo and then I succeed, then I will be able to reward people who gave me the initial seed. I can reward them with my company's products. I can tell them, you guys bring your kids to study at RCM. You are the ones, in this case, who gave back to RCM. That's reward-based. GoFundMe, whatever you give is a donation, For those of you who are running churches, I would want to see somebody doing a very good proposal under GoFundMe. Please go and do research under GoFundMe. Do research and get to know, like, how do you get to raise money using this GoFundMe? Let me see whether I can get it live here. I would want my students to go a notch higher, because I would want you to write proposals for financing which win. So like now you can see here, we have your home for help. It's GoFundMe. How it works, you have to create your account there for individuals, for charities. So if it's for individuals, like discover how do you do fundraisers, like stories. People would want to hear success stories. That this is RCM College. We began from nothing some time back, 2-3 years ago. But right now we are supporting over 2,000 students. Students in this case who don't come to Nairobi. They're able to study from their homes. And then I'll be able to get, for example, like say 10 of you guys, like this day, these guys told me that, you know what, Mwalimu, we have very young kids, 2 weeks old kids, 1 week, 1 month. And because of these online classes, you're able to study. Once you're able to do this kind of success, you tell your story very well, then you'll get people who are interested, and people will be able to partner with you in your, or rather in the fulfillment of your ideas. Essential funds, celebrate Black Joy. I don't know what that is. Crisis relief. Fundraise for medical, memorial, emergency, non-profit, for education, how it works, resources, etc. for charities, etc. I would really wish to get any of my students here who will be able to go and start this GoFundMe, without fearing. Just put anything up there. I'm so sure when you put the first proposal there, you may not get much, but people have become experts in this. I know of some people who are big experts of this, and you'll be hired by organizations. You'll be hired by NGOs to go and start this kind of water, because when you do a GoFundMe, it goes beyond Africa. It goes outside there. All right. There are places you'll be able to put videos. So it depends on your creativity. Is there anybody who has a question? Is there anybody who has a question regarding this crowdfunding? And please explore all of them. Explore all of them. The Kickstarter, explore all of them. Yeah, if we can do it practically now, we can raise 12,500, 100 bob per head. But if you send 100 shillings here to Mwalimu, Mwalimu gets 12,500. But please don't do so. For now, I'm a bit stable. I will be able to tell you when to do a crowd funding program for me, and I'll not ask for 100. I'll just go to this various groups here, tell them I have this project in Isinya and I'm drilling a borehole. I've been able, for example, to sink in 5 million into this borehole. I only need a distillery plant, which will be able to convert water, salty water, to fresh water, which goes for 2 million. And each student gives Mwalimu 1,000. So if you do that, you'll have given me 2 million and you'll have given me a very good send-off package for my retirement. Is that a good idea? Is it a good idea? Is it a good idea? Is it a good idea? Yeah, then you'll have really supported me. So then I'll be able to do a proposal regarding that. Great. Just 1,000 bob. Nasema hii ni ya mwalimu kwenda retire. Maria is saying, but you are stable. Maria ni mchoyo huyu. Uni mchoyo. Uni msichana mchoyo huyu. Great. RCM has been of great help, yes. You guys. Huyu Maria ni msichana mchoyo huyu. Huyu sasa mimi simtaki kabisa. No, I'm joking. Thank you very much. Let's continue here. Retirement sio karibu. Hapana, retirement sio karibu. Yeah. Not like America, people don't retire. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we will be able to go through what we call Islamic finance. So Islamic finance, when you talk about Islamic finance, what comes to your mind? When you talk about Islamic finance, what comes to your mind? Please talk to me. Islamic finance, what comes to your mind? Sharia compliant finance, the one that is based on Islamic legal framework. I'm waiting to hear. Thank you very much. Great. First of all, what you're supposed to know, Islam is against riba. Riba, which is interest, isn't it? Islamic is against riba. Islamic is against garar. Garar means what here? Garar. Islamic is against garar. Great. I can see you guys have ideas. You have ideas. Garar is about what here? Uncertainty. If you get a member of Islam betting, that is a haram. Betting because of what here? Garar. You know, garar, the risk is very, very high. The risk is very, very high. All right. And then, of course, we have some haram things. For example, ladies and gentlemen, haram, like pork. Pork business is haram. All right. And many, many other things. Gambling is haram. Thank you, Maria. Yvonne, yes, says alcohol. Also, alcohol is haram. Good Muslims do not take alcohol. Good Muslims don't take alcohol. They also don't go for prostitution. This must be a very good person. Yeah, prostitution is haram in what year in Islam. If you're a man and you believe in marrying more than one, they allow you to make it 4 more. Hawakubali mpango ya kando, which is very good. They tell you to marry up to 4. But there are very, very strict conditions. You don't just wake up and say you're marrying 4 and you can't love them equally. There are very, very many conditions that are placed on that. All right. Wanagambo, I'm not so sure of that. Okay, interest, yes. Interest is haram. Thank you very much, Richard. The use of money for the purpose of making money is expressly forbidden. You can't trade with money. If you are a Muslim, there is no way you'll tell somebody that, hey, I'm giving you 1,000, return this with 200 on top. That means that you are trading money. That interest on top is a haram, is a haram, is a haram. All right. Yeah, ukiona walia na bet, huyo ni bonoko. Huyo sio Islamu ukwe. Islam. Unajua Uislamu, ukiangalia vizuri, you know, at times I also look at these things contextually. I look at these things contextually. Islam could be a true religion. Christianity, pia, true religion. Like in terms of following, like look at how many times they pray, the things. I'm not saying that they are perfect. Of course, there are those ones, of course, who are bonoko vile jamaa anasema, just like Christians, some of us, we are bonokos, all right? Like ile dini yao, for example, haigandamizi maskini. Wanainuana sana, right? Ndio maana ukienda kwa Muislam lunch hour, hata after COVID ama hata wanakula kwa sinia pamoja. Hata kama ni mgeni kutoka wapi, sinia moja, like that. But we shall overcome. I'll be telling you why these guys are good in a moment. In a moment. In a moment. Then I'll go to Islamic financing principles. Islamic financing principles. So Islamic financing principles, which ones are we talking about? For example, we have what we call murabaha. Unasaidiwa, unapewa muraba moja. Unasaidiwa katika trading. You don't have finances. You don't have finances. So tunakupatia muraba moja. Tunakupatia item on credit. Tunakusaidia. Tunakupatia item on credit, but we shall charge a markup. So concept here, muraba is a cost plus financing arrangement. Instead of lending money with interest, a financial institution purchases an item and sells it to the client at a markup, which can be paid in installments. So the bank basically helps these sellers to acquire things on their behalf. So they buy, for example, a house and they give it to you. Wanakupatia muraba kwa Kiswahili, muraba. Process, the client identified a desired asset, and the financial institution purchases it on behalf of the client. The client then repays the cost plus an agreed upon profit margin over a specified period. Then we have what we call musharaka, Kiswahili tena kushirikiana. So under musharaka, we shall have two parties, ladies and gentlemen, who will be able to come, A and B. They come together, they partner and do business together. So musharaka is a form of partnership where two or more parties collaborate to finance a business venture. Sababu wanashirikiana, wakipata profits, they share equally or in an agreed proportion. Profits and losses are shared based on the agreed upon what your ratios, your process. All partners contribute capital, and their responsibilities and profit sharing ratios are determined in a mutually agreed contract. Musharaka encourages shared risk and encourages active participation in business activities. Active participation in business activities. Let me go through the charts here. You can see 5 of them. All right, no question so far. So I'm assuming guys are really following. So then we have this musharaka. Musharaka, we have said kutoka kushirikiana, wanashirikiana. A and B. We contribute capital. It can be equally or of course in agreed proportions there. And then of course, both of us, kushirikiana pia in how we run the business. We are active, both of us. So this is quite different from what we call muduraba. We have muduraba. Where is it? Oh, it's not here. Under muduraba, I'll be able to explain under muduraba. Muduraba. Under muduraba, what happens? Let me write that spelling here. Yvonne, that's the one you're asking, yes. Muduraba. Yani Muduraba, under Muduraba, we have a very poor person who has very good business ideas coming together with a rich man. A rich man. The rich man here is called Rabul Mal. Rabul Mal. Like that. So they come together. So we have this poor man, rich man. So what does the rich man do? The rich man only contributes capital, goes away. He's not active in running of the business. The poor man is the one who does not contribute capital, but he's going to run this business from day one to the end of the year. So at the end of the year, they sit down and then they evaluate. They look at how the business performed. If the business makes profits, they share. Poor man, rich man, they share. It could be equally or in an agreed ratio. In an agreed ratio. All right. What happens if they make losses? Islam is not about making a poor man sink down further. Islam in this case is only about uplifting people. So if they make losses, it is only the rich man who will. It is only the rich man who will absorb what here, who will absorb losses. Muduraba. Muduraba. Somebody is asking whether this is examinable. Just look at the syllabus. And that's why I took time to even read some questions. I knew this kind of a question would come. I took time to read some of the questions from your papers. Unfortunately, yeah, this topic is low-hanging fruit, yes. Very, very important. So is there somebody who has understood what Muduraba? It could be Mudaraba or Muduraba. Same. The same. Thank you. Muduraba. All right. Then we have Ijara. Ijara is a form of lease financing. So under Ijara, what happens under Ijara? What happens Ijara, Sarah? Ijara is an Islamic leasing agreement where the financial institution purchases an asset and leases it to the client for an agreed period. At the end of the lease term, ownership can be transferred to the lessee or a third party. So under Ijara, we have a big building. Then what do? If anybody comes to us, right, he doesn't have, for example, money to buy this building. He just wants to lease it. We can lease it to him on an Ijara model. So Ijara is basically Islamic lease arrangement. So process, the financial institution acquires the asset and leases it to the client, who pays periodic lease payments. At the end of the lease, the asset may be sold to the client at a nominal price, or the lease may be extended. Then we have sukuk bonds. Sukuk. These are Islamic bonds that represent ownership in a tangible asset or a business project. Investors receive a share of the profit generated by the underlying asset. Process, the issuer of sukuk sells certificates to investors. And the funds raised are used to finance specific projects or assets. The investors receive periodic returns based on the project profits generated by the underlying what year asset. Listen to me very well. If, for example, Kenya had borrowed the Eurobond money using sukuk bonds, we would not be in the problems that we find ourselves here today. The Eurobond money came. We do not know exactly which kind of assets it financed. Nothing. Most of those monies went to people's pockets. Just like the other day, again, our dear president has done the same mistake. He's gone to the international market, borrowed of 1.5 million, which he doesn't want to explain to people and tell people, hey, part of this is coming to pay this loan. Anything extra is coming to do this and this. If it's a sukuk bond, Islamic bonds believe, or rather the Islam investors, they believe in investing in specific assets. So they'll tell you, fine, this is the bond. We are giving you 10 million US dollars, but where will our money go? Because an Islam person will not want to give you money and then you take this money to invest it in a pork business. Then they would want to know, this money that I'm lending to you, it's going to build this building, no problem. Which building specifically? How much rent? Because to him, he doesn't want to get interest. He wants to get profit that arises out of what? Yeah, that model. And of course, should you make a loss, those guys, it's muduraba. If you're making a loss, they'll take the loss so long as your accountability is very good. They take the loss. All right. So Sukuk bonds, and I remember this guy, uh, the former finance minister, I'm forgetting the name. He had floated that idea of Sukuk bonds. You see, the Kenya that we are in, there is nobody who would want to be told that they're giving you this money, and then they are followed around to show which assets the money will build in. Because in Africa, this black skin, I strongly believe when I read my Bible that this black skin must be this skin, or rather, we must be descendants of that gentleman in the Bible who was cast. That gentleman who was told that you are cast, including all your descendants. Who was it? Cain? No, it wasn't Cain. It was someone else in the Bible. Who is that? Who is that? Is it Esau? Is it Esau? Oh, I think it's Ham. It's Ham. It's this Ham. We'll be able to do research. It's Ham. Why am I saying this with a lot of humility? Our appetite for stolen property is very high. You can't find this appetite in any of these countries. I'm so sure even here, you'll get somebody working for an organization that, for example, dispenses drugs to HIV patients. And this guy is eating that money. And yet the guy is not HIV positive. And I mean, to them, it's very normal, Others in this case are stealing from people with disabilities. You go to, you sympathize with Africans. We have a problem. You go to these big, like level 5 hospitals. They don't have drugs simply because drugs are being moved from there to pharmacies, private pharmacies. All right. All right. So our appetite for these assets, I mean, we don't even have time to enjoy, because you get people all over. People are just making deals. People are making deals. It shall never be CDF money, yes, being eaten like, I mean, nothing. Simply because you'd want to be seen by a very, very big machine, donor funds. So you see, and the fish is rotten from up there. All right. All right. Actually, this thing, you should, like if you go to, for example, Scotland, for example, Sweden, all right, you'll get like a minister who goes to work on a bicycle. And they take pride in that because they are also fighting against high blood pressure, against sugars here. I mean, what comfort really do we derive in these big, big things? At the end of the day, you are building up a lot of pressure in your body, etc., etc. You blow the whistle. I think this is a very good topic, which you should be able to have a debate. It's a curse. You won't end well with this. Especially as accountants, like when I read, like, for example, my students working at NHIF, that the guys are stealing money over there. And the way cancer is really disturbing people outside here, it's bad. It's bad. And you can't, hey, you, my students, allow me to use bad language at times. Money cannot buy everything. Look at somebody like Tuju, all right? Tuju, if you go to Karen, just right behind Kenya Defense Forces University, he has a very, I mean, that's a palace. The bedrooms, I mean, I can't even count. It's like a White House. His house is big. Lakini mama anawacha yeye anaenda na askari kwa gate, hata si ati ni colonel ama hata corporal, ule askari mwenye hana any rank, sijui anaitwa constable, anaenda naye. So where I mean, where are we in this world? Anaacha Rabulman anaenda na huyu kijana na wakaua kijana, makosa. Wakaua kijana, makosa sana. So hii life ni vanity. Vanity. nimemtumia kama example. Nisikie mtumia tena. Si peke yake, ni wengi sana. Ni wengi sana mimi najua. Ni wengi sana mimi najua. Wanapitia maneno kama hizo because of what I mean, I used to do because everybody knows to do. So please, next time, we will tell our president, we go for sukuk. Takaful. Takaful is about insurance, Islamic form of insurance based on mutual cooperation and a shared responsibility. Participants contribute to a pool, and in the event of a loss, the funds are used to compensate the affected party. Process: participants pay contributions into a takaful fund, and the claims are paid from this pool. The principles of mutual assistance and the shared responsibility align with Islamic ethical values. You can't get anybody in this takaful fund who is trying, in this case here, to create a fake accident for them to be able to get what here, for them to be able to get compensation from. No. You know, our own insurance, I'm telling you, is dirty business. There are people in this case who even generate their own death certificates simply because they want to be paid. That cannot work in Islamic takaful. Karibu ikuwe takatifu. Because of what here, I mean, over there, people are very, very ethical. Very, very ethical. Here, in this case, you'll just go and get yourself into a small accident, something that you can easily make up the repairs here and there. But you get somebody, in this case here, coming into some agreement with some assessors that, please, let this be a full write-off. Let this be a full write-off. Let this be a full write-off. That's unethical. That's unethical. We shall overcome. Mutua na Lillian, yes, this is a very good example. Yeah, Mwalimu have not understood about the new Eurobond. You see, this Eurobond, the money we were given, you know, we issued a bond. We issued that certificate, right, to these international markets, international investors. Then they gave us what? They gave us dollars. MN, once you get so many dollars at a time, what happens? Now we have so many dollars in the market. The supply of dollars now is very, very high. So with the supply of dollars being very, very high, the price does what? Goes down. It's an oversupply of dollars in the market. I hope that is clear. 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 MN. So, ladies and gentlemen, just as a quick recap, I want to stop here. So as a quick recap, if you're asked here to describe cryptocurrencies, what will you tell us about cryptocurrency description? What are they? Do you know some examples of these cryptocurrencies? Do you know some characteristics of these cryptocurrencies for 5 marks? Digital money, I love that. Bitcoin, Ethereum. How about in this case here, any characteristic? Please, as you talk about digital currency, always remember cryptography, because the digital coin cannot be changed. Always remember that they operate through blockchain technology. Blockchain technology, characteristics, high volatility, very hard to be regulated by governments because they are decentralized in nature. I love that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Then we go to blockchain. Under blockchain, describe blockchain technology. Describe blockchain technology. Describe blockchain technology. Describe blockchain technology. I'm giving you 1 minute. Describe blockchain technology. Please don't take a back seat in this. You have to be proactive. You must talk to us. Distributed ledgers that records transactions across networks, decentralized, and distributed ledger systems, ILDA. A ledger or decentralized data that is securely great. Peer-to-peer decentralized technology. Great. I like the way you guys are able to use your own language. Yeah, and the systems are very transparent. I'm not seeing anybody using the word immutability, immutable. They can't be changed. They can't be changed. They can't be changed. They cannot be changed. Ledger systems distributed across networks. Transactions cannot be altered, immutability. End-to-end encrypted, cryptography, yes, does not involve third parties. The only thing that a third party does, Nance Chep, is to give us like the whole list of what here people are there and what they own. End-to-end encryption. You guys seem to be loving this encrypted, end-to-end encrypted. For some reasons, you seem to be loving this end-to-end encrypted. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how about crowdfunding? Examples locally are Sasa. How about crowdfunding? Crowdfunding. What are you able to remember about crowdfunding as we disappear? Go fund me as an example. Go fund me. Go fund me. Go fund me. But how about description? Because they'll tell you to describe for 5 marks. Mchanga Willis, thank you very much. Mchanga is a very good example. Crowdcube, equity-based, Mudholi, great, where small funds are raised from a large population. Small contributions by many people through the internet test. Thank you very much. You guys have great ideas. And then you give examples. Yes, I'll share the PDF. I will share the PDF, yes. Donations from people through the internet. Hilda, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, all right. Donation-based crowdfunding. Thank you, Richard. At least I can see you guys got what this crowd has no flow. This must be a very good. What is the name of this student? I should give this student. No, no, no. This is Wilfrida. Wilfrida is a rich lady. I cannot give Wilfrida money. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. No flotation cost. No flotation cost. The only thing you need to do is to pitch your ideas. Like how I would see those guys who are pitching their ideas to the Shark Tanks. All right. Yes, TikTok can be crowdfunding. TikTok can be used as a crowd funding what here? A crowdfunding platform. Now, the worst bit of it is that you cannot go with very good things and then people contribute for you in TikTok. In TikTok, that's the only sad thing. All right. Sylvia, I would want you to do crowdfunding like concept using the GoFundMe. GoFundMe. Is there anybody who will be able to take that challenge? They just look at any idea that they have very good photographer taking photos of your, for example, startup. I would really be interested in following up that matter. And I also don't mind giving in some seed capital, because when others see that some seed capital has been given, then they also get what you're motivated to give. I would really be interested in seeing, great. Maybe try, maybe 2-3 weeks or when we close school. It is that you try. Somebody's calling me, 1 minute. Sorry for that. I have some great boss who calls at any time. Okay. GoFundMe, great. Thank you very much. Then lastly, how about Islamic finance? What is it that you love about this Islamic finance? Describe Islamic finance. Give us as much details as you can. Sukuku Ijara. Wilfrida. Shark Tank is an example of equity-based crowdfunding here, because those guys, you have to give them some shares. You must give them some shares, yes. Measures on shared responsibility. Earning interest is very prohibited. Earning interest is very prohibited. It's specific on the project, very good. Very specific to the project. Takaful insurance, based on the Takaful pool, we pull funds together. Should one of us become sick, we contribute. But remember that like a full fund insurance, you don't fake anything. You fake nothing. No speculation, yes. Mudaraba. Mudaraba or Muduraba. Rabul. Sukuk Islamic bonds. Garar is haram. Riba, no interest. Owner of capital, Ijara lease. So ladies and gentlemen, it has been very exciting hosting you tonight. This being like more theoretical, it's not easy to talk too much for 2 hours. So you'll be able to allow me to sign off like this. See you on Friday next week. Bye-bye. Thank you. Good night.